Hello there, and welcome to the first episode of the Great Hall podcast. This is a project that I've been thinking about doing for a while, however I only got around to doing it now. Mainly because there's been a title update, which we all thought was the last one, and I'm here to discuss that with some incredible guests. I'm going to introduce them on random order, because I love you all too much to get a favorite. First of all, we got Monster Hunter DJ, one of the guys that's most well known around here. We got Duplex.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. What about you, mate?
I'm a bit nervous
I'm
for this
aight.
shit, but we'll see how that's gonna turn out. I guess that's a good segue into the cute little giggle we just had. We have Barry, which is how to introduce Barry. I don't even know.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
We're
Yeah.
recording this live as well. This is why you can see the chat on the top left. But before we go into any of the fucking cesspit that this is gonna turn into, we also got another fantastic creator that gives me my one brain cell a little bit of serotonin. We got Froggy or Flo or Kiki. There's so many nicknames for you, right? Too many aliases. Pick one.
Yeah, fuck it, Kiki.
Let's go. For those of you watching live, all of their links. God damn it! All of their links are in the description down below for the stream. Go check them out. They have incredibly unique content. And before we dive into Title Update 5 and what we think about it, I would actually like to get you guys to do a quick little intro, because last time I did that with Barry on a video, it was very fun, and kind of see
All right.
how you
Yes,
guys
I
would
gotta
introduce
open up my
yourselves.
But I read a script.
So I think it's only fair that we go back to Duplex. Duplex, what do you do?
Okay, I'm a composer. Probably you guys know me for like Monster Hunter remixes, right? I make EDM, but even orchestral stuff. And I mean, if you like that type of stuff, or you want to hear some like original content as well, just follow me.
So far, you
Lovely.
trust.
Lovely. And then we also got, of course, following up the order. Barry, what do you do?
Eto. I'm a streamer. I stream on YouTube and Twitch. I'm kind of sussy and cute.
Did you just say I'm kind of sussy?
Kind of sussy.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Like I don't really know how to describe it. I'm a VTuber, so that's all you need to know.
Y'all know that, if you're a real ARC subscriber, we need that. We live for that. And Kiki?
Yeah.
What do you do?
You know what? I'm just the best goddamn YouTuber of your fucking life.
God,
Facts.
fuck yeah.
Facts.
True.
Facts.
Li-
Spitting.
Listen. I make just the worst shit posting videos known to man. Mainly involving like Monster Hunter, sometimes Pokemon, whatever fits my fancy really. And if you didn't know, I made the fucking egg video. I mean,
Yep. If you guys ever seen
egg
the video about
videos,
do Wyverns
all
will lay
Kiki.
eggs?
She made the egg video.
Oh yeah.
It was
Oh,
Kiki,
yeah.
guys.
It was me, and I regret every second of it.
I don't. It was funny as shit, and I love it to this day.
She carries that burden to this day.
Yeah,
University
it's
of
a
Michigan,
beautiful burden
gross.
though.
So good.
Oh yeah, Weeb Dude also saying in the chat real quick that Barry's also certified furry. But anyway, we move.
So true. So true.
Spitting. Well, we just literally we're really fresh. Like our thoughts are really fresh on this matter, because we literally just saw like the Title Update 5 stream alongside 100 people, which is fucking crazy.
That was
but
really cool, yeah.
damn, that was just that was just nuts. Like that was just nuts, honestly.
People absolutely came through to watch with us.
Absolutely,
That's
like
cute.
really happy for that, guys. Thank you so much. It genuinely means a lot to me that we crossed 100 viewers on a stream. That is nuts. Like I didn't think I would achieve this soon, honestly. So thank you very much.
Now we
for
just
that.
need to hit 100 likes.
Oh, God damn it.
Everyone, make sure you like this
We're
stream.
close. We're
Yeah.
close. We're at 91.
Like the stream and then like the podcast that is gonna be the video of the podcast that's gonna be here, right? So like everything.
I'm
Like just
gonna
click the
have to-
fucking like button. Just fucking do it. Anyway.
Just fucking like it.
So, like I said, we just watched it, and there's a lot to go through. In terms of what we have seen that is new, yeah, let's be real. We kind of all expected Amatsu's back. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Risen
Yes.
Shigaru is looking terrifying. We got Risen Strax and Shigaru. When Risen Shigaru added to the Anomaly research as well, which is now being raised to level 300. God fucking help us all. And then we also have some really cool layered armor, some really nice music that Barry and I were low-key like thirsting a bit over. Some
I'm
new paid
literally
DLC.
obsessed.
and a nice little surprise at the end that I think everyone's gonna be pleased. If you haven't seen the stream and you get to the end, you know there's gonna be a bonus update, so that's gonna be really cool.
I don't know
With
about
that in
everyone
mind,
being hype.
I kind of want to know, how do you guys feel about it overall, like just in general?
Just starting out, just kind of like we said, we all knew Amatsu was showing up, but just like, I don't know, the way it was presented, like the new moves, the whole thing with Kagero just like showing up, trying to fight to the death or whatnot, it made it hype.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
mostly did. It mostly did. How, like, because here's the thing. I think everyone in this, well, in this cast here has started with Monster Hunter at a different time, with Kiki and Duplex being sort of the veterans, and then me and Barry being like the nooblets. Because I started with Monster Hunter World, so I've been with the franchise for just about 5 years. Because World was released in 2018.
Jesus Christ.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Oh my
Think
Doesn't
so.
feel like
Yeah.
that at all.
I know it doesn't feel like that at all. 5 years has been like, that's crazy, like, honestly. But yeah, so it's already been a while, and you know it's just kind of nuts to think that it's been that long since Monster Hunter World's been released. And then Barry, you started with Rise, right?
Yeah. My first Monster Hunter game was Rise. I played it on release date
On Switch,
Then-
on the Switch.
On
on,
the
on
Switch.
the Switch. Yeah.
Sweet.
But I think I feel like when I started playing World, I was like, oh wow, there's like a whole world of Monster Hunter. I've been missing out on. Like, why did they take Poogies from us?
Fuck the Poogie.
I
Fuck the
can't
Poogie.
handle
I
that.
don't like the Poogie.
No,
I
fuck is wrong with
love
you?
Poogie.
Jesus
I
fucking Christ.
love
I
that little pig.
Don't care. Fuck the
That's-
Poogie. It's weird.
What's
it follows me
wrong with you?
around. I don't like
Oh,
it.
that's a horrible
That's
He
take.
wants
adorable.
to be
It's
pet.
an L fucking take.
You
For
can
real.
pet it.
I'm
you
getting
can carry
blasted.
it.
Take your L.
I'll
Take your
carry
L.
it straight to the canteen, because that's what's gonna happen to the Poogie. I don't like it following me.
Oh hell no! Oh
Uh,
hell no!
Bruh, I will protect Poogie with my life.
Honestly, as long as you keep the pig away from me, I'm cool. I just don't like the fact that it follows me around. It's creepy.
It's cute. He wants to be
It
pet.
loves you!
Okay, so
Fucking
if I
loves you.
do it, it's creepy. But if the little pig does it, it's cool because it's cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have like an empty suit of armor following me around at like 3 a.m.
Not as cute, yeah.
Asking to be
3
pet.
a.m. Asking to be pet. No, yeah, and then we have, like, going back to it, because then you have, like I said earlier, Kiki and Duplex actually started way before us. When did you guys start with Monster Hunter?
I started on
shit.
For You, but I went back and even played previous titles. But I started with For You around launch date, more or less, when it launched in Europe. Don't remember when exactly, but it was For You and on the 3DS.
I
Nice.
started in Freedom Unite. Not when it came out, because like I would have been a fucking baby by
Dude.
then.
Freedom Unite?
Yeah. Yeah. Needless to say, it was not a good experience for the first time. But
I think
then,
we can
like,
all agree on that, though. I think we can. No one here, like, who here started Monster Hunter and was like, this all makes sense to me. I'm having a great time. I got owned by the
yeah,
fucking pink T-Rex, and I was like, that's it. I'm not playing this anymore.
I know what a skill is. Yeah, totally.
Actually, like,
Yeah.
I remember my first Monster Hunter game, because I didn't know it was a Monster Hunter game. Like, when I got For You, I was like, okay, I want to try Monster Hunter. But my actual first Monster Hunter game was like on like a pirated PSP when I was like 4 years old, and was
Oh,
like
shit.
portable second. And I remember just because
Oh no!
like,
DOS.
years later, was it? I don't remember. It was like portable. I remember fighting a Tigrex, and I remember like it was like the quest that you
God.
were supposed to faint to a Tigrex. But like,
Oh, it was the Popo tongue one. Yep.
yeah, and like I remember doing that. I was a kid. I didn't understand shit. So like as soon as I booted up, I was just like I keep on dying, and I just disinstalled the game. And I just and like years later, I see the
Uninstalled.
Tigrex design in 4 Ultimate, and I'm like, holy shit! It's actually a sequel of that game. And I just
It's your worst. It's your worst nightmare. Come.
it's
to
my
life.
worst nightmare for real.
Oh god. Well, there you go. Everyone's kind of backgrounds on there. I've only gone as far back as you because honestly, like I don't have why I'm gonna say it as it is. Why would I go back to play something like For You when Resident Evil 4 remake just came out? I'm
Fair
sorry.
Okay.
Fair enough,
I
fair
love
enough.
it, but my god, it's just like when you're a grown up and you have shit to do. I'm like a grown up in age because mentally I'm still a child, but you know I'm just kind of you can't you really have to be picky with your time. But I really want to visit old gen because like there's some stuff in old gen that you're probably never gonna see again, and I really want to experience those like siege hunts and just like specific monsters that we've never seen before. Really want to experience. Don't want to experience medium bowguns. That's gonna be weird, but everything else is kind of on the platter
Yeah,
there.
never play try. Don't ever play try. I beg of you.
Um,
There is nothing.
Some people say it's actually like worth it because they say Try is the one that gets the closest to the first Monster Hunter game without having the portable vibe.
I
You know?
guess, but like at the same time, you got like half of the weapons, half of the
Yeah, I get
it's
it.
like-
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because in the order, so in the community here on my channel, there's actually an awful amount of people that have started from really, really, really early on. Because like, here's the thing: my channel ain't about Monster Hunter lore, guides, or anything like. It's about the waifus. It's about the most important part of the game.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
So you know, I don't like. A lot of people were thinking that I actually started like way back with like stuff like Try and whatnot. So I haven't. I actually only started rather recently, and so going back to stuff like GU was very intriguing to see because I actually prefer the old style of hunting rather than the new that was in Rice. I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm just saying I prefer like the more methodical, slow-paced hunt rather than the high-paced fucking wire bug madness that we have. Although it is
Devil May
fun.
Cry action.
100%.
We'll get into that in a sec. Let's discuss Title Update 5.
Yeah.
Amatsu. We all
Amatsu was
knew.
sick.
We absolutely all knew. Like, let's be real. We all knew Amatsu was coming in. Storm Dragon. One thing that I noticed just now is that Amatsu is going to be in the Infernal Hot Springs, right?
Yeah, but
I
it looks
think so. Yes.
it looks
Yeah,
like a
that's what it looks
variation of it. It looks like it's way wider. Is it just me? Maybe it's because there's no pillars on the right side of it.
Hmm.
Because you know there's those huge pillars, but like it
think-
looks like they're not there. I think.
I mean, he might just bust him, because like
True.
he can bust him.
True.
I'm watching the trailer back though. It's definitely it looks the same.
Okay, it's probably the same then.
It
I-
does
I
look
like
like
with
it's the
the-
same.
Yeah,
It
I
makes
do like
sense.
with the red skies. That's just kind of like Amatsu's old fights and like whatever the fuck he fights in, just like those red stormy skies. I like that a lot.
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be a good fight. I honestly think it's going to be a very fun fight because when I think about the big, like recently, again, going back to Siege quests, I can only go as far back as stuff like World, like Kultarov, Safajiva, Xenojiva, Elatrion, Fatalis. All these hunts, they're very fun. Very, very fun to part. I mean, Kultarov not so much in the beginning, but I can't say that too much because my best friend Ron, or like one of my best friends Ron's, he like really likes Kultarov. And when we were grinding that shit, I was nearly asleep. But he was loving it, so it's fine. It's more of the thing in the sense of they really do like big hunts like this well, and it reflects upon Rise and Sunbreak because Guys McGorm's hunt is really cool.
Yeah.
I also love the fact that they did Ibushi, Narwa, and Allmother, just all like really fun hunts because we don't have the traditional siege hunts here. Right, we don't have those kind of hunts going on, I believe. But
We have
And that makes me
Rampages.
so upset.
Oh, Rampage.
We have
God.
Rampage. Woohoo!
God.
Am I the only one who liked Rampage?
I liked Rampage.
I'm
as well.
not gonna hate on it because it was fun.
I'm
I
kind
just
of
wish
sad
it was
that
more
they just-
useful.
They just
Yeah.
like left Rampage like to die. Like
Yeah.
kind of makes me so sad because Rampage is like low-key fun, especially with friends. Like,
With friends,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
so fucking.
It's because it's like it goes back to when we were talking about earlier before we started recording, which was, long story short, when we actually have, like when you're actually in Monster Hunter, and you're grinding all the time, and all you do is hunt. Like, there's no downtime, and I've compared this pretty much to being in Seliana and Iceborne, and being in Elgado and Sunbreak. Because in Seliana, I'd come off a hunt. I'd look at the beautiful graphics. I'm not gonna batter Sunbreak for graphics, but I'll look around. I like fuck around with the palicos in the little pools. I go to the hot springs. I'd arm wrestle with like people online and my friends, and it would take hours of my time to just. It's almost like therapy. And then you hype yourself off. You go to the next hunt. In Sunbreak, there is nothing to do except zip around.
Just keep going. Just
keep hunting.
One thing Peefall did commented that was, I think it's like a really fucking good idea, is putting afflicted monsters in rampages.
That would have been really fun.
Just like imagine that you just do a rampage and you get like 10 like
that would
5 times the amount
genius.
of materials.
That could have actually worked really well, because the one thing that drains me is the fact that Sunbreak's high level anomalies, they take ages.
And like for like you get like 2 pieces of like, or 3 pieces of anomaly equipment, like materials per hunt.
Like just 2 afflicted shells.
Yeah, exactly. Just for like a 15 minutes hunt, and it's not worth it. Imagine if like for a rampage you get like 5 or 6 of them. That would be so fucking worth it, and so fun as well.
Better. And it would be like less stress, because you have resources that are given to you on rampages. You have like all of the NPCs, you have the ballista, the cannons, the chain guns, all of that kind of stuff that would have been pretty useful. But I'll get back onto that soon, because everyone here is happy with Amatsu. Kagero being there is also pretty cool. I like the fact that they're tying him to the monster. Give us a bit of lore. I really am curious to see what it's gonna be like, because let's be real, I don't know a lot about. I do know quite a bit in the sense, for example, of Yomogi coming from somewhere that is not necessarily very well spoken, the Citadel being destroyed by Malzeno, all that kind of stuff I'm well aware of. But I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do to tie Amatsu and Kagero together. Moving on to something real quick though, Risen Shigaru.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Look, I'm like a super Shigaru fanboy. I'm like the whole Magala family. It's my favorite monsters.
I love them.
And like, I don't know, I really like the fact that it low-key looks like they inspired themselves off of the Frontier version of Shigaru. Like, I don't play Frontier, but like I know the version, like the design they chose for it. Like the fact that the tip of the wings is actually red / orangish, and it's not just like weird spots. That's the thing I don't like about Risen monsters. Like, for example, Camellias, is that it's just like looks like random points that turn orange. Well, I like that with like Shigaru, you can actually see there's like an actual specific point in which the affliction is showing itself, which is very fucking cool.
That's a cool design choice, because obviously my favorite monster was turned into a Risen Elder Dragon, so Valstrax, and his fight is just nuts. I mean, I hunted him twice today, and it's draining, but it's a great hunt. I love him to pieces. But I'm genuinely scared of what they're gonna do to Shigaru, because if they beefed up Valstrax that bad, I'm either like Valstrax is gonna stay S tier hard, like he's gonna be the hardest monster in Sunbreak, in my opinion, that is, or they're gonna make Shigaru even crazier.
I mean, Shigaru's. So sorry, go ahead, Kiki.
No, I was about to say, like, just looking at the trailer itself, you like see all these fucking AoE explosions going on. It's just like he's super like distancing himself a lot. It's just like it doesn't seem like you're gonna be able to approach him a lot, and that'll be interesting.
I think that'll be interesting, especially because it goes very well in combo with like his effects, like, you know, frenzy and affliction, right? At the same time, like the blood blight.
For real.
Like, imagine that, but with like a monster that is pretty evasive, but like just if they're able to nail it to the point that he's not like, he doesn't give you a lot of windows, but just enough so you're able to fight both the frenzy and like the blood blight. That would be such a good fight, because you'd be like literally a dance back and forth between like negative effects and positive effects. It'll be like very fucking cool if they're able to nail it. So I'm hyped for it as well.
Absolutely.
No,
Agreed.
so I think we can all agree it's gonna look good. It's gonna be
Yeah.
hard. It's likely
It's
gonna be
definitely gonna be hard.
Valstrax.
It's so gonna be hard. I think it's gonna I think Valstrax is gonna be still harder on like a gameplay point of view, but while Shagger is gonna be kind of like Alatrian, where it's gonna be like build check essentially.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be good on like? Do you have enough defense? Do you have enough health for the fight? Are you able to manage it both on the effects point of view as well as the actual fight itself? Well, I think Risen Crimson Glow Valstrax, it's gonna be just like it's a hell, like living hell.
It might not give you blood right though. That's the thing.
Do you think it's not gonna give a?
I'm not sure.
It should,
depends.
honestly.
It depends.
I mean, the afflicted version is definitely gonna,
because
right?
if you get that plus the Krios, well, not Krios actually. I'm thinking about Anomalies.
Frenzy.
Because you have him as an anomaly as well, so that's gonna be fun. I
Oh,
was
right.
half split, thinking that Capcom was gonna pull like a left hook and hit us with the Risen Velkhana. I'm not sure how that would have panned out. I think
right,
I would have been pretty angry.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
pointed out it doesn't give you blood right. Yeah, Risens don't give blood right. Well, then never mind. So maybe it will be cool if like he has like a stronger version of Frenzy. Then
I mean,
Just
it's gonna be
super
cool. I think it's gonna be
Just,
cool.
Super fast, yeah.
I'm hoping that it's gonna be like something nice to look at, and it's gonna be a fun fight. Now, we're probably gonna move on to the topic that we don't really want to talk about, but we kind of have to. Fucking Anomalies, like Risen Strax and Risen Shigaru in Anomalies. Imagine fighting a max level difficulty. That quest just cannot be fun. I'm sorry. Like I'm a guy that loves challenging myself, right? But the problem with my particular problem with Anomalies is that I don't think, and again, this could just be me not thinking perhaps of the veteran side of Monster Hunter, but god damn, it can be draining to go through the anomaly grind. And one of these hunts, like some
bad.
regular Crimson Glow, already pretty much one-shots you with any attack. Risen Crimson Glow with an anomaly on him, he's just gonna look at you funny and you die.
And plus there's more health.
Yep,
which
more
makes it
health.
longer. It's just
Yep, exactly.
It's not worth.
I'm surprised though they didn't add a way to make like your grind faster. Like that's one thing I'm really surprised about, because usually like towards the end they rework the end game system kind of like they did with the guiding lens in Ward and Iceborne, right? It's very weird that we don't have like a proper way to grind either master rank level or to grind in general like affliction level.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool that they give you the option of fighting the hardest possible case scenario. I think that's awesome, because having that as an option does genuinely mean, like, yeah, you can go and get wailed on. But, bro, it's the thing of the levels are just so high up. Like, it's not a problem for me. I'm like, Anomaly. I'm master rank, what? Nearly 400 now. So for me, it's not a problem. Like, I know I'm not going to have a problem unlocking those pieces of content. But the thing is, like, when I think about...
Yeah, but you need to reach up. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because when I think about someone like Gaijin Hunter, who's so busy, and obviously, like, because here's the thing, I'm going to go on a quick side note here. I love Gaijin to bits. He played loads of Monster Hunter because his daughter got into Monster Hunter as well, and they went through so many Monster Hunter titles before Rise was a thing, like, came out, right? And then during Rise and then during Sunbreak, he's like, oh, I have to grind. Not only does he have to grind for himself, he also has to grind for his daughter. That is draining on a level that I cannot explain. Or I cannot even imagine, rather. And it sucks to me to think that something like Risen Valstrax is locked away behind such a high Master Rank level.
MR 160? I'm at MR 88. I can't do that shit.
No,
I think
but
it was 180.
I think you guys didn't realize, like, the problem is not the MR. The problem is, like, to unlock these special, super strong versions with, like, extra beam attacks and everything, you gotta beat them at anomaly level 300.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
It's not like a master rank level, because master rank you can just like farm event quest, which you can kind of like go through really quickly. There's ways to like kind of like go through it and reach that high level, more or less you're gonna do it. But like the fact that you have to grind anomaly quests specifically, it's kind of fucking annoying, right? You have to essentially do 600 anomaly hunts to reach that level, if not even more, probably, right?
It's
Not
a
to
lot.
mention the
It's a
fact
lot.
that like, not to mention the fact that like again with like each level that it rises, the health also rises, and
So
it
you
just
takes
takes
more
longer
time.
every time. I don't see
It's-
why anyone would enjoy that.
I
Honestly.
see
it's power
why they
creep.
did it in terms of power creep for the people that just
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
take
yeah.
the hardest case scenario. I don't agree with the way that they locked the content though.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
like,
there
I
should have
feel
been
like-
less.
It actually feels like impossible. Like
But
get there.
yeah, but at the same time, like these are monsters that, like, if it were like a new challenge, like they were to like, let's say like lock Shagaru, like risen Shagaru behind like afflicted level 300, then I'd be pissed. Luckily, you can fight the
Absolutely.
basic version, and then if you want the like you've been farming for hours and hours and hours, and then you get to level 300, then you get like a super special challenge for people that reach that level. So like it doesn't really change that much because it's from what they said, it's just like slightly bigger hitboxes and stuff like that. So whatever,
Mhm.
right? But it's I think it's still like a cool thing they added for like the super extreme
I
veterans,
see your point,
right?
Duplex, but I'm gonna present you with a counter argument. And right now in chat we have someone. Zare's saying he's a vet with thousands of hours in pretty much all Monster Hunter titles, but he just doesn't have time to unlock this. And I'm saying this from
Yeah.
the point of, you're right, there are ways to grind the master rank. There are ways to go around it, right? That whether they're fun or not doesn't matter. It's the grind is there, and the like the so-called easy way is also there. My thing
It is what it is. Yeah.
is it just not enough? Because look at base rice, right? Like let's dial it back a little bit. Look at base rice.
Yeah.
You had the apex monsters in the rampages. They were
Yeah.
hard.
That's it.
Okay. Apex monsters are outside of rampages. That's even harder. Now the apex
Of course.
monsters each had a amped up quest where and then Valstrax, like the base Crimson Glow Valstrax also had a bumped up quest where he was in the Infernal Hot Springs. That is a stat check. He had a lot more health, he had a lot more damage, it was a lot more challenging. However, the quest was there. And
Yeah.
it's not
Like
even
you
the
could
fact
always
that,
take it. Yeah.
and the thing that I'm saying here is I totally see your point of I like the fact that they added that challenge. That's why I've done it. I've made it sure that I want to make sure that I kill all the monsters, right?
Mhm.
That there's no right or wrong way for you to enjoy any Monster Hunter game. That's the way I want to enjoy it. So, but what I do mean is that Risen Elder Dragons, they have brand new aspects to them that absolutely change the fight. So with like, for example, if I'm telling you I can go back to GU and absolutely whale a regular Valstrax because Risen Crimson Glow
It's
genuinely
times harder.
beats you
Yeah.
to a point where you turn into its bitch, and everything else before it becomes a lot easier because you just learn. But the thing is,
Absolutely.
it has new moves. It has brand like the ultimate move that Valstrax does, where he goes into the sky, bombards you now, and then crashes. Some people are never going to experience that, and I find that absolute bummer because I would prefer to have him. Like one of my best friends who plays the game a lot whenever he has free time, he's struggling to catch up because it's not feasible for someone who's trying to not, you know, it's not, I'm not going to say it's not feasible, that maybe that's a bit too dramatic on my end, but it is a lot to demand, and I would prefer to have them be able to unlock them earlier and then be able to take them on in a powered up version by choice, if you know what I mean.
I understand what you mean, and in fact, like I agree with you with that the master rank grinding, it's kind of annoying. Like my problem is mostly with like afflicted grinding.
Yeah, it's
what
not
I'm-
master rank, it's afflicted stuff that gets
afflicted stuff, but like again, like with master rank, my main counterpoint, I don't think you should go like 200. Like probably like Malzeno is gonna be 200, and it's gonna be way too fucking much, right?
Oh,
It's
God.
way too much. But like I think at least the grind to 100, it's not that bad, and I think on some level, like
that. I agree. That I agree.
it's worth it because let me take you back to like Iceborne, and remember when Alatrian and Fatalis came out, and remember how many people were unprepared for it because you could access it as soon as you reach like Hunter Master rank 20 or something, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like people would just beat Sharish Valda and just go all the way, like just go to Alatrian, and like that's way too big of a jump in like difficulty, right? You haven't grinded, you haven't like got the proper skills and everything you need to actually fight this monster. So if you're gonna give me something like Risen Kushala or Risen Teostra that just like two shots you, right? You might as well make the grind worth it. I don't think you should go up to 180 because that's way too much. I think you should go up to 100, and then from 100 you unlock everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will say that's what happened in GU, right? Just like once you get to like Master Rank 100, you just unlock everything, and you can do it whenever, right? Like
Yeah.
it's there. And I do like what they did in GU with like trying to grind for that, where it's like in the background of the game, like every quest you do, it adds like a counter to like your like hunter rank points. So like once you hit like HRA, you defeat a Tal Ka, right? That like hunter rank point counter just like adds to your rank until you're like, I don't know, you magically go into like
50.
HR 90 or whatever. Right. Yeah. I like how that was, because like that means you had way less grinding to do it. And I liked that a lot.
Let me ask you guys this, real quick. How many people here are over 150? And
Master rank?
when we're talking master rank,
Let me check. I think I'm over 150.
I think I'm like 300.
Master rank, it's not something I've again. Master rank
master
is
rank
that...
exactly. Hold on, that's the point I'm trying to build. The master rank
Master
itself,
rank is not that hard to grind. Master rank
exactly.
is fine.
You can
like,
farm the Gormagala event quest if you really need the points.
Is that too? Yeah, like, and I mean, it's a pretty easy one. Like,
and like
the event quest.
Why don't we have that one, but for afflicted monsters? That's what I'm trying to understand.
there you go.
Give
That's
us
the problem.
A
That is
fucking
the problem.
afflicted monster event quest that just makes me go up by like 3 points because all my friends are doing level 300 afflicted quests. Because it's not like a problem that like the thing is, like, if you fight like a Risen Crimson Glow Valstrax, even if you have like a lower master rank level and your friends has it, you can hunt it. In fact, like the first time I hunted like a Risen Crimson Glow Valstrax, I did it on Arc stream, and I wasn't level high enough for it, but I still did it.
Yeah.
Well, with afflicted quest, it just blocks you. You can't do it, right?
Yeah,
you can't.
You can't hunt it. You just can't go for it,
And that's so fucking annoying. That's so annoying because it makes it would make sense that, like, for example, a cool way to implement it is like if you're able to beat like a super high level anomaly quest, it gives you many more points, and that will push higher level anomaly players to play with lower levels.
Yep.
So it helps the grind and helps the community as well.
The whole like anomaly construct feels broken, like in the worst way. In that, like, if your friends are like ahead of you in their anomaly research level, like, you're just fucked. Like,
people don't want to
play with
you
them,
because
and they don't want to play like lower fucking rank anomaly because they don't need the like lower rank parts. Like,
it's
very frustrating.
It's a shame because on paper it's a really good system, and like more or less, like if you have the chance to like actually grind, it's definitely better than, for example, stuff like Guiding Lens, which you would choose to bring to the max level anyways. So whatever.
Yeah, I love the Guiding Lens personally. I'm a big Guiding Lens.
I'm a big
lover, but
I love the Guiding Lens. But like to bring an area to level 7, you just spam traps on the floor to get like 1,000 points, and then you bring it to the max level. You hunt the monster that you want to hunt, and then you just move on. But again, even with the Guiding Lens, you had the thing that like I remember having like a friend group, and like each and every single one of us would specialize in like having a specific area at the max level. So if I need something, I go over
because you're bringing the community together.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't fucking get why they don't do the same thing with Afflicted. Like, for example, that I don't know, you can level up.
It almost sounds like, because let's be real, the Afflicted and Anomalies, they're there to replace Rampages, right? Like that's to replace the Rampage. And I feel like it was almost. I'm very cautious of not being too critical of the Monster Hunter team, because I've said this earlier, and I am extremely pleased with companies like Capcom, specifically the Monster Hunter team. And more
as well.
specifically, in regards to, like, they do Resident Evil, they do Monster Hunter. I also love company like from software that makes Elden Ring and Elder Souls games. Like, these are the only, and stuff like Arc Systems. I literally said this earlier in the stream, because they make games that I know that I can pre-order and I'm not going to get fucked over. Because you're talking to a guy that used to be, still is, a massive Star Wars fan and a massive Battlefront fan. And how the fuck are you going to tell me that what EA did to me? Like, I'm sorry, because what EA did is they took my favorite game and they threw it in the fucking bin right in front of me, without even having the courtesy of calling it disposal. They just fucking said, "Here you go, have a good look, enjoy."
Grind for
That's
300
what they did.
hours.
That's what they did. So me trusting a developer nowadays is a big compliment, and Capcom achieves it all the time with Resident Evil and with Monster Hunter. My point here being, right, I'm not critical in the sense that I don't like them. I love Capcom. Dude, I want Capcom from Software and Work Systems, like, they just have so much fucking money, it's pouring out the windows from their office. Like, they don't know where else to put it. The bank doesn't take it. There's not enough room for the money, right?
Give me your money.
Like, just take my fucking money. That's why I support them. I never buy a game on Switch and then buy it again on PC. And then I gave away I don't know how many copies of Rise and Sunbreak because I just want them to be successful. And I also want to I just want the community to also be pleased with that. But my point here being, like, that the entire setup that I'm trying to say this here is because I don't think the anomaly system was thought all too thoroughly. I completely relate to what Barry said in the sense of they have the concept, but they didn't refine it, and that lack of refinement is what makes it so draining. I cannot get myself to finish an anomaly set because it's so tiring.
Yeah, no, it's like completely exhausting. Like, no, it's like it just becomes truly not fun. Like, especially when you literally can't play with your friends because they're at different level. Like,
Yeah.
You know whose perspective is actually really interesting in this? Because we were talking about, obviously, with the portable team, Rise and Sunbreak is a lot more fast-paced, right? So you're constantly hunting, and I totally get that. However, Barry started with Rise. She's now in World and Iceborne. And how has that change been for you? From going to hunting 24/7 to be able to do something in between hunts. I want to know what you kind of think and feel about the difference in hunting, because here's the problem: hunting constantly in these conditions is draining.
yeah, I mean, you and I have talked about this a lot, where it's like, especially as a streamer, like you just you need this downtime in between hunts. Like, and this is, I'm coming from the perspective like as a streamer, but like when you're playing a game on stream, like especially like Monster Hunter, like you have to be like focused, so you can't like necessarily like pay attention to your chat, etc. So like part of it is that, like, coming from that perspective. So it's like, this might not be true for like normal regular people who are playing the game, but for me, it's just like in comparing like Rise downtime to like World downtime, like I cannot dip my Palico in a hot spring in Rise.
Exactly.
Like,
Review bomb it.
and like like that's an F for me. Like, I think there's so many like quality of life things that have in World when it comes to having a good time and hanging out with your friends. And like,
I just want to use arm
I feel like
wrestling. Sorry, go
Also-
on.
yeah, it's
Also,
more like
Let
a
me button mash.
I literally just want to use arm
feels
wrestling as an
more-
excuse to hold hands with my friends. What the
It's
fuck
also-
with that?
Yes.
Also,
You
I wanted
get
to-
it!
I wanted to bring this up earlier, but I didn't have the chance to. But like, isn't it weird that like Rise was supposed? It's a portable game, right? So it's supposed to focus on like socializing element of Monster Hunter, right? But it's weird how the hubs are smaller. We don't have like
Fail.
Sorry.
events.
I just read a message that says, "Dip the Palico. I'm trying to drown mine."
oh my
Oh!
god.
No, why would you do that?
Based.
I
And-
can't believe you, Namiel Looter. What
I
a
literally
fucking
will
name.
ban you right now. But no, yeah, it's not that like, well, okay, referencing Ark's Kamura versus Elgado video, that was featured, and
Oh
you guys
my
should
God,
check it out.
hell yeah, we're getting arc
Yes,
references.
let's go!
The fucking
go,
how
Selig!
meta right now.
I feel like okay, so like you're like okay, Elgado's great at first, right? Like at first when Sunbreak came out, you're like, oh my god, like new area, it's beautiful. Like there's waifus, there's husbandos,
Not the
it's
hate
the
word.
ocean. It's beautiful. It's like and like I feel like you can really enjoy Elgato for a
Yeah.
time. But it comes to a point where, like, first of all, it is never nighttime in this game. Like,
yeah, it's day all the
I
time.
wish so much.
night cycle in World and Iceborne alone would add so much to
I
Rise
would
and Sunbreak.
You know when you defeat Geismagorm and you come back and you see
It's
like the
nighttime.
nighttime.
That's so
Oh my god,
cozy.
can I even
That's so
can
cozy.
I
How
even
would
express to
I
you
would have loved
how
it.
long? Do you know when it's like cloudy in Elgato?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I don't
I
remember
get
what
that.
master rank that is. I think it's like 20 or something, but I literally was mastering 20 for so fucking long because I just wanted it to stay cloudy in fucking Elgato. Because it's so bright. It's like offensively bright in Elgato,
Offensively
okay?
The
bright.
bloom
Like,
is insane.
and I get that they wanted to make it like bright and like new world vibes and all that. And I think they accomplished that aesthetic. Like Elgato is a great place to be for a time. But when it comes to grinding to level 300 fucking Anomalies,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like,
that's the
hell
thing.
no.
They
I don't
didn't
want to hang
design
out
it.
in Elgato.
They
Like,
didn't
I
design
don't.
it for you to be there that long. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Reading in
Like,
chat,
and
there's sorry, go ahead.
just find myself like wanting to go back to Kamura, but then it's like nobody wants to hang out in Kamura. I'm like, what's wrong with you guys? Kamura's so beautiful. Like Minato's here. Like
Hinoa,
Hinoa's here. Like it feels homier to be in the Kamura gathering hub.
Not
Yeah.
to.
There's no gathering hub in Elgato.
There's no
Like,
gathering up.
Literally. Wait, Duplex,
one
you said
group-
you had something that you wanted to bring up about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
chat?
from the chat. Like the thing is, like there's Xero made a great point on this. Like you got houses in Word, you got the hubs, you got the interactive elements in the town.
Yes,
That's
dude.
so like
Let
the
me
thing.
collect my fucking pets in peace. I want my penguins back in my
The
room.
thing that made like Word so fucking good was the fact that like it felt like a breathing, like they always say that phrase, like the breathing ecosystem, right? Like the endemic life, the fact that you would move from place to place and you would see always like people moving around, you'd see like different elements that you can actually interact with. That made Word so
Meanwhile,
darn
in
unique.
Elgato, there's there one fucking guy
The
that
door!
just calls
Nabara?
fuck that guy. I don't even want to know his name.
Like
I hate
like
him.
now I don't want to hate on Rise because Rise, that's not the point of Rise. The point of Rise, like we're playing it on PC because like we're playing at home in front of our PC. Rise is supposed to be a game, at least the concept of it was supposed to be a portable game, right? So
Yeah.
a game you boot up, you play for 10 minutes. So you're not supposed, like you're supposed to have a place that it's efficient, right? You're not supposed to have a place that it's necessarily like super large and super complex, kind of like Astera, which is like
Yeah.
still to this day like a nuisance to move toward,
Yeah,
like
Really?
in
no,
Astera.
Oh my God.
Astera was like I liked what they were going for.
The vibe it's super
But
cool,
God
right?
damn.
But like,
Like
nah.
Astera is awful, actually. Like horrible. Like it
And
makes literally
after
no
having
sense.
to go through the lifts 100 times, you're just sitting there
Oh
like,
my god.
Christ.
Oh, what?
I can't. So Astera. Okay, yeah, Kiki didn't play World. So in Astera,
Alright.
which is the base
Never will.
village, it's you have like a little lift system that basically say so the ground floor is the merchants, the melding, and whatever else. Basically like the basically item spots, right? And like where
Yeah,
most of
yeah,
the
yeah,
NPCs are, and where your first room is, and then the second floor is the smithy.
Then the third floor.
And your room, and then the third floor is the cantina, or
Yeah,
maybe
the
they're
canteen.
like it's
The
a
canteen.
canteen.
And then the fourth one is the
I'm
hub.
starting to see the problem.
And the
Yeah.
fourth is the fucking gathering hub. The problem is there you have like loading screens in between, and there were
Oh,
in particular
no.
on PC there were patches where these fucking loading screens took ages.
Oh,
took ages.
no.
And if anyone here has ever heard me talk about my favorite, like one of my favorite games ever, Bloodborne, you know that one of my biggest
Oh, no,
problems
why
is
did
a
you bring
loading
it up?
screen. It's a fucking loading screen, and the thing is, either you can walk it, but bro, walking that mile is just a pain in the ass. Like it's not fun in the long term. They fix it with
Yeah.
Seliana, because in Seliana the gathering hub has everything.
Yeah.
It has
Cool.
Yeah, it's
everything.
great.
It has a shop. It has here's the thing that I always
Molding.
tell you. Like, the reason as to why I'm so confident in giving Capcom my money, it's specifically in the Monster Hunter team as well, is that I know they don't make the same mistake twice. Like, I just know. They don't fuck it up
That's
twice.
true. Yeah.
But for example, you can appreciate that in Rise, the element they added is that you can visit the whole village together.
Yeah.
And like say what you want, but like walking around in like this huge village with your friends, it's a great feeling.
It is. Like, I feel like I need my games to be like immersive, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be having fun. I need to like actually see the people there that I'm playing with. Like, it was so weird playing like Base World. Like, being
just
like,
being
wait, where
in
the
the
fuck are
gathering
you
hub.
guys? Like, and the gathering hub in Astera is like awful. Like,
There's
awful.
like not even a merchant.
Yeah.
There's literally
it's
nothing
just
there.
quests.
You
It's
just
just
post
quests.
and eat, and that's
It's
it.
pretty
It's
and
tiny.
it has a nice view, but goddamn, like I want to.
It's awful.
I don't want to have to
like-
leave to craft like a new piece of armor. I want to
Yeah.
just
And like
be able
your
to
friends
go to the
can't go
corner.
with you.
Yeah, and your
It's
friends.
so dumb.
I do
Like-
hope that they keep this, by the way, because I would love to see what Kimura has, where you can be in the gathering hub and in the village together. That is
Yeah.
like my big thing. I would love for
They
it to
combine
stay
the
that
two,
way.
it's perfect.
Because you know why? Because having access to both almost gives a sense of culture to Monster Hunter, in the sense that the gathering hub is when shit gets serious.
Yeah.
Like people don't go to the gathering hub unless, like, for example, with Safajiva in Iceborne, the whole point is that there's 16 of you in the gathering hub going in groups of 4, which canonically you are all fighting the same monster, and you're trying to drain it to make sure that everybody can reap the rewards. Which is crazy, because if someone else kills the monster, you still get it, even if it's not in your quest. Which is like, I like that. I really
that's-
like
that's
it's
cool.
such a good
Oh.
system, Kiki. Honestly, and the fact that they bring that to bring the community together and hunt together, that is very important to me. Like I said, it's a design choice. It's not a fault. It's a literal design choice. They are experimenting, which I love. Like, again, on my knees for Daddy Capcom any day, but some of it I just can't I just can't sympathize with too much. Now, moving on to the next topic on the list here that we got, which is where Barry and I are gonna fucking shine. It's the new layered armor. God,
God, it's
damn.
Oh no.
God
Oh,
love
damn.
it.
Dude, I want to see. It's kind of sad because Barry plays on Switch and I play on PC, but I want to see Barry with bunny girl ears, and that's gonna happen.
We had been
Fan art's about to go
earlier
crazy.
that I like need all the fan art. I feel like if it had been earlier in the like lifespan of Rise and Sunbreak, like I would buy it again for PC. But there's just no way I
It's
can.
too late in the
Like-
game
Yeah,
cycle.
honestly.
Like you're
Yeah,
so
like-
burnt out. Like I bought it as soon as Sunbreak came out, so as soon as it came out on PC, like at that point it makes sense. But if you spend like 500 hours on Switch, like no fucking, like maybe in a few
Hell
years,
no.
It's
sure.
No, yeah, not
Like I have like close to 700 hours or something, and I literally been playing since the actual release date of Base Rise. So like my burnout for Rise is like beyond.
I
It's
think
like
everyone
I've
is on that page.
played
though,
the
you know?
game, you know,
Mhm,
like
mhm.
and
I've had a lot of people that ask me, why do I not play on Switch? Because I started on Switch, and I was like, I just don't get the opportunity to play on Switch. Like, I commute to work, but boy, the train's fucking packed. There ain't no way I'm pulling my Switch out. I can barely put my hand out of my pocket, so there's not gonna happen. And then the rest of it is a walk, so like, I'm not gonna play Monster Hunter while walking because I don't have the coordination to do both. That's probably a skill
Yeah.
issue, but it's more the
Oh,
thing
it
of
is.
like,
It
if,
is a
if
skill issue.
anyone turns around to me and goes, why don't you play it on Switch? And I'm just like, dude, I cannot be fucked to grind the whole thing again. I would have
Yeah.
if Anomalies weren't there, but no,
True.
just cannot go do that ever.
Like in fact, like I see a lot of people that like now this is a bit controversial maybe, but like for example, when I see people that maybe have like gears they shouldn't have at that level, and probably they use cheats to reach that point. Like if it's someone that has farmed on like PlayStation and moved to PC or stuff like that, like I don't even blame you, mate. I'm not gonna
no.
here
I see
and
that.
ask you to like grind for like 400 more hours just because you have to earn those things again. Like Monster Hunter is a fucking tiring game, right?
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
it's a
I feel like
tiring
especially
game.
in the case of Rise and some.
Yeah, especially
Especially
Rise.
in Rise, absolutely. Because here's the thing.
Rise
Let me
and-
let me throw you a hot take while we're talking about the whole cheating thing. If it's your own game and you want to mod it so that you get all
Who
the
fucking
items,
cares?
fucking who
Go
cares?
for
Like,
it.
go for it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I wouldn't do it. It takes the fun out of it for me. But if you're someone who just genuinely has no time, like you work 12 hours a day,
Mod
and you
your
just can't be
games.
fucked.
Who cares?
Mod it. Who gives a
Yeah.
fuck? It's the thing
Yeah.
of if you're modding it, if your modding then affects multiplayer, that's when I have a problem.
Yeah.
Of
Also-
course, of course.
That
Also
is when I
another
have a
thing-
problem because I had to go into Hunt where people just had ridiculous stats, and I was just like, this isn't fun.
It's not fun. Yeah.
It's not fun, and I don't care that you have it for yourself. Go by all means, go for it, but you're ruining the game for me. And that is
Mhm.
like, I think that's a sentiment I think everyone can kind of get behind. Where if it's your own game, you're not affecting anyone. Who cares? Do your own thing. Like, you know, you do you. But if you're affecting other people's gameplays, you should be very careful because you could potentially get people that like Monster Hunter. For example, I know
Just like
people.
it.
I have friends who tried Monster Hunter. They were like, yeah, I just found a lot of people that had like stupid stats or infinite health, and it just didn't feel fun,
Mm.
and I kind of dropped it. And I was just sitting there like, how sad is that? Like, come on,
Yeah.
how depressing.
A point that I also see on chat is like, see, but Word doesn't have that problem. You can fly through the base content. I fucking disagree. Does anyone remember the Pink Rathian investigation halfway through Ward? Jesus. Okay, Kiki,
Oh,
you haven't
no.
played Ward. You haven't played Ward. Essentially, imagine that like Capcom just like you're running through low rank, right? And imagine that
Yeah.
halfway, like at the start of high rank, Capcom sits you the fuck down and it's like you got to do like 20 hunts to unlock high rank.
Fuck that.
Fuck
no
you.
way.
It's quite like when you're doing that first try, it's not bad because you're just like, oh, it's whatever. Like it's a first little hurdle, but goddamn,
If you
when you're
play
trying to go
again.
back to it, it's
Okay, so I
Hell
will
no.
say,
So
I will
bad.
say, my experience of World was I was very much hard carried. Like, so I didn't really have that issue.
no, but
I
that's-
know.
Like,
But I
But-
hate when games hard cap you, like they stop you from progressing. It's that thing. That's why I like Rise because it's an adrenaline rush. They just inject it in your veins, right? There's no like panning the content. They throw it all at you, and you just play it at your pace. If you want to rush it and then you get burnt out, it's your fault. At the end of the day,
yeah, that is. I mean, they do stuff to facilitate that. They give you like the defender sets and whatnot, and the guild sets,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
they're called. But going real quick, going back to the layered armor
The layered.
stuff.
Yep.
So I do think that I this is probably a really hot take because I think we can all agree like yeah, you know, Barry's gonna be in those, you know, in the hot girl summer outfit with bunny ears. That's gonna happen. 100%.
Absolutely.
Like that's I'm all for it. Like literally my channel is about the waifus. I'm all for it. Absolutely. Be it a man or a woman. You go for it. You do your thing. You fucking have your hot person summer. Go for it. Don't let anyone stop you from doing that. But the hot take that I'm gonna have here is the paid DLC. And I'm just gonna say it as it is. I recognize the fact that having like the ability to make games right now is a lot more expensive.
True.
It is a lot more expensive to make a game. So I understand that they like Capcom threw in extra DLC, and I myself don't mind supporting them. I think I've made it very clear that I throw money at Capcom like it's nothing. But I don't quite agree with some of the layered sets that have been introduced. Not in this particular batch. I think they were fine. Like if you have an armor set, you know, that's fine. You want to make it exclusive. I think my problem began with stuff like
the weapons,
the Lost Code and the
Mhm.
plushie weapons. And my problem is not necessarily that they're paid. I would just think it's smarter for you to perhaps go, here's a quest to unlock one of them, like a ticket for one of them, and then if you want the rest, you're gonna have to pay for it. I think that's a smarter approach rather than it's just paid.
And if you do want to if you do want people to pay for it, just make it a fucking set. Like I don't want to individually pay
usually
like
buy
$3
every
each.
single one.
Yeah.
The
fuck
thing is,
that.
it
Yeah,
depends because they do bundles, but then they do individuals.
I think with
Yeah.
the way that they bundle things too is like sometimes I feel like they're like fair with the bundles where you can buy like an outfit bundle. Then like they always have like a bundle that's like literally everything that came with the content update. And it's like I don't know, $25 or something. And it's like, man, that's like it's like a DLC expansion.
Yeah, that's a
like,
lot.
You know, like 20
That's a lot of
like,
money.
I
Especially
feel
because
like
a lot of that stuff in there you might not even want.
Yeah,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So like
there-
I feel just like Ark has said, like I'm on the exact same page. That it's like I have no issue giving Capcom like $11 for some layered armor. Like I want to support Capcom because I love Monster Hunter. I love the games that they make and I want them to continue making like great Monster Hunter games. Like it's not an issue for me. But I feel like maybe for Sunbreak, there's just like a little too much paid
Yeah.
DLC
Yeah.
content.
Yeah, I get you.
That's
There's
like-
a lot, or rather,
There's a
it's
little
not.
too much.
the
Like
thing
I
is-
have spent so much money on the paid DLC. Like I have a lot of the paid DLC stuff, and like, does it make me happy? Yes. Do I get serotonin from it? Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
I need
But-
it.
lucky, 'cause
100%.
I actually have people in the community have like I have my friend Ron, and he has given me shit like as rewards for reaching certain milestones on YouTube, right? And
Oh, like
I
your
don't
sugar
I genuinely don't deserve this guy. Like friends for almost a decade now, and he literally just sugar daddies the fuck out of me. But I love it.
Hell yeah.
The thing is, right? I'm just sitting there like, man, sometimes I just don't want to spend that money. I really just don't want to go through that effort. And it's more the fact that sometimes I just, like everyone's been saying, I just think sometimes stuff is bundled incorrectly. And what really, really makes me notice the difference, because they've always been selling layered armor. They've always been doing that. That's always
course.
been a thing. But I genuinely think that World and Iceborne had it better because you could buy an outfit for the handler to look like the guild marm, so that you know you're like 10% less annoyed.
I have
But then
that
it's
one.
like that shit makes sense.
I have that one.
And I'm just sitting here, and plus the event quests, then they gave you some kick-ass stuff
Yeah,
to use.
that's
Whereas the
that's
event quests in Sunbreak, until recently, have not been completely up to par. And what I mean by that is, I know that this shit, like, sorry, I'll let you guys go on your own. It's so hard to like record a podcast on Discord because latency kind of means that you interrupt each other sometimes, and it's
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not to interrupt, but because I'm not sure if someone's starting to speak or not.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's
It's just the
latency.
way it is.
It is
Yeah.
Just
what
give
it
it some
is.
time. Just
It
give it
is
some
what it
time,
is.
and once we meet IRL, we just fucking it'll
Oh,
be so
God.
much better.
Yeah.
It'll be
Oh,
way
yeah,
easier.
true. No lag IRL. I mean, we're
Yeah.
still sharing the one brain cell. That's still a problem, but we move over
Yes,
that.
you get it.
The thing is, with the rise, like they have some good layered armor stuff, but some of the events in Sunbreak have just been a bit ass.
Like if they just give us like
So bad.
more of those fucking crown quests, like I'm
cares?
gonna freak. Like I'm actually gonna freak.
Bears, I
Like,
don't want to be a
give
princess.
me-
I want to be a
honestly,
cat
Give me
girl.
totally
a
get that.
fucking reason to do the event quest. Like if they're gonna trickle fucking feed us the content, make it fucking worth my time to do it. Like I
There's-
do not give a fuck about the monster size thing. Okay, like it's like super cute when you do the event quest and it's like the littlest one and the biggest one. Like that's adorable.
Of course.
But like
yes.
you don't get anything from it. Like
Like the thing is, like there's this great video I saw from Reddit Oscar. I love this guy. He's very like cynical about a lot of stuff, but he does it in a way that makes sense. And
Yeah.
the thing is like he talked about paid DLCs, and the point he brought up was really good. It was like you usually add paid DLC in a game when you need to make money. If you make money, the audience expects you to deliver on like on the game, since you're actually trying to earn extra money that you have to somehow invest back into the game or back into your company in general. But he pointed out that objectively speaking, the monsters we got from in Rise and in Sunbreak specifically are less complex and like require less resources compared to what we had in Ward, which had less microtransaction. Because at the end of the day, in Sunbreak, you got like variants, you got subspecies, you got risen monsters, which are all like variations of like a previous monsters. Well, you go back to Ward and you realize you have like shit like Safijiva, which is a completely new system. You had stuff like Lunastra, of course, which was a different variation of Teostra.
You had
but you
stuff
had also
like Devil Joe, am I
you had
right?
stuff like you had stuff like you had
God.
stuff like Devil Joe. You had stuff like you had like a lot of different monsters back in Ward through title updates. Well, here it doesn't feel like it's justified to have all that paid DLC. That's the thing.
Yeah, it
It-
sometimes
it-
feels a bit overwhelming.
It's a bit overwhelming. That's all. It just like
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they've definitely improved
I see
it
your
when
point.
they did the stuff with Lance
From
Gun
Sunbreak
and
on.
what was this other Page Ram, something like that. I forgot the name of the other character.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that was really cute. That's the stuff that I would actually pay for, and I have, and it's actually completely worth it. But moving on to a part of the paid DLC that I think we're all gonna be on the same page: music.
Give me
Fuck
that
yeah.
fucking
Uh,
lo-fi
If there
right
is
now.
one thing that I
Actually-
can tell you, Rise and Sunbreak have absolutely gotten 100% right.
music. Fuck yeah.
Paid DLC.
That was Kiki, OBK. That was Kiki. Yeah, OBK says, "Yo, who just released their level 3 super?" That was Kiki.
Sorry.
responding
It's just
to
like
Devil
it's
Joe.
it's an Overwatch character just popping his ultimate.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I feel like the music totally, dude. I feel like just changing your fucking lobby music can cure burnout in Rise. Like
Fuck yeah.
So true.
the music,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is actually so worth it to purchase. Like if you guys purchase any DLC, you're not into the layered armor, you're not into fashion hunting,
Go for the
you're not
music.
into like whatever.
Music.
Get the music though, because here's the thing: you can just pop open that game and work on stuff and listen to that music. Like
It
I do that
slaps.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and there is so much music in the game already that's not even from the DLC. That's all really good from like past games and stuff.
Mhm.
And
Seliana's theme is in there, which is great.
Moga fucking village.
Moga
Oh,
Village.
dude.
Fuck
Oh,
yes.
There's some-
Injected into my veins.
Dude, it
Yes!
slaps. It literally slaps. Like the music is so
I always
good.
have the palicos of, what is it, Yukumo Village?
Oh yeah.
That's my
the,
that's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
lovey
yeah,
background
yeah.
music, and I'm
the
obsessed
Yori
with
theme.
it.
That's
I
so
love
good.
it.
So atmospheric.
But yeah, like they have like there's like a dance version DLC.
Yeah, I
where
was
it's
There's a
seeing
like-
so
jazz
much.
version.
It's like there's
I
a
was-
the jazz version slaps so hard.
There's a rock version, and like this
I wanna-
The
lo-fi,
metal
this
I wanna-
lo-fi that
metal
they're launching-
Malzeno.
Oh, metal
So
Malzeno
good.
slaps.
The thing I was
Oh.
seeing so bad, like when they launched, like I remember, and this is like a fun story. It was like I spent like a good 2 weeks making a Magnamalo EDM remix, and then like 1 week after I posted, Capcom releases the EDM remix of Magnamalo's theme, and it pops up. And I was so like, I know it's petty because it's the main company, right? But I was seething so bad because
That's so
it was like
good.
you could have waited like a few weeks or something. I don't know.
Seethe, mold,
Let me get
co.
my views.
Let me get my views, then have it your way. But
Yeah.
But yeah,
Can't just do
Capcom
me like
absolutely
that.
slays with
No,
OSTs. Like
I'm definitely
and
buying the next, like this title update, music update. I'm definitely buying it.
yeah, no.
they
but
do
jokes-
not fall short when it comes
Jokes
to
aside, they're
music,
so
like,
fucking good. Capcom
Yeah, it's
music
actually so good.
team in general, like they're wizards. I don't know how the fucking they do it. Like 99% of the time, all the music in Monster Hunter games always fucking slaps.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there's, you see
100%.
that but that's like a thing where if you notice by the developer, because if a developer can make good music, like let's probably Duplex is the only one, and maybe a couple people in chat that are gonna recognize this. Guilty Gear music.
Yep.
You
yep,
can go
yep.
back to
yep.
the original Guilty Gear game, and the music from there till now. Yes, you're gonna have themes that perhaps aren't as good,
a bit goofy.
but every fucking time, the music slaps. Guilty Gear is not a fighting game. It's a music album with a fighting game attached to it.
Yes,
Fuck
sir.
yeah.
Because but that's the thing with the developers that I was going back to. When you go to Arc Systems, when you go to From Software, like there's times where I remember, because here's the thing. I'm gonna flex this right now because I think it's one of the best
Okay.
decisions I've ever made. I went into Elden Ring blind. I saw one trailer. That's it. I didn't look into any previous gameplay. I had my fucking mouse like hovering over Rurikon streams when he was playing the closed beta. I was shaking until Elden Ring was released. But when it was released, right, and I experienced what it was to listen to the Limgrave soundtrack as I open up into this this huge world, it is soul cleansing,
It's
and
so
it
good.
is something
Yeah.
that cannot be replicated cheaply, because it's, again, we're going back to the developers that I trust. It's the developers that pour so much time. They don't rush the games. They don't compromise in these kinds of things, and it is perfection. The music that comes out of this, like, music is more important than graphics in some regards.
Yeah, music
Absolutely.
just shows how much care a developer has in their games, right? You're able to tell if like they care about the game by the music they use. Like if it's
I agree, because
if
it's
it's
like world building,
yeah,
and there's so much more that goes into composing music for a game than just like like wanting it to sound like a certain way or have like a certain aesthetic. Like I feel like Elden Ring especially is like so okay, now I haven't played like any of the other like Souls games or anything, so I don't know. Elden Ring is basically my only like frame of reference, but
yeah,
Elden Ring for me is like so it stands out so much like just with its OST alone, like I will just be hanging out, like, working on stuff, listening to Elden Ring OST because it's so unbelievably fucking good, and I can just, like, trance out and focus because it's, like, actually good music.
yeah.
Like,
It's grandiose. It's got so
yeah,
much going on.
It's a lot. And
like
if you haven't even, like, if you ever just like quickly plugging this in, if you want to listen to absolute slapper tracks, go to Bloodborne, especially the DLC.
Yeah,
The
The- but
the
dude, I wanna
symphonies
play
these
Bloodborne
guys
so
make.
bad, dude.
Oh
it's
man,
so good. Like Living
Please
Failure
play
still
it.
gives me fucking
I don't have
goosebumps.
it. I don't
Barry,
have a
I have it
PS4.
tattooed on my body for a reason. I will. It's so fucking good. Like that game is.
Like
No, I need to like have an entire podcast episode purely for Bloodborne. I'm gonna
just on
start
Bloodborne.
fanboy here.
In general,
Shit,
like
I can't be here for that.
like even like the thing is, like, for example, I appreciate like Monster Hunter. They're able to like make their soundtrack unique without becoming like, bland orchestral stuff, because like everyone can put
Mhm.
choir on stuff, and even when FromSoft does it, it does it like with taste. It does it at the right moments, in the right way. Like same thing goes with Monster Hunter. Like you ask any fucking Monster Hunter fan what it means to like hear Latin chanting in a theme. You fucked up. You're
Yeah.
fighting a god, and that's
You
so
play
cool.
White Fatalis,
How many
it's
of us
over.
here?
You know-
This is a question that this is a bit of a dream moment for me. I've
Yeah.
always wanted to ask this to an audience. How many of you went from, oh my god, this monster is so hard, to laser focus when you were fighting Geismagorm and Proof of a Hero started playing?
Before you start playing,
Oh my god, dude.
I was bricked up. I stopped talking the
For real.
second it happened. You gotta understand one thing. When I play a game and I'm silent, it's because I'm focusing. And if I only focus if the game has captivated me enough. Which is why when I fight like Risen Crimson Glow on stream, I focus, because I know that one mistake and that's it. Like one mistake and that's it. And when something like this happens in a game and the music is just slapping in the back, like, dude, it's like nothing else matters there and then. You just have to beat the fucking digital
you're just
monster.
enjoying it.
And
Just like
it's like what Barry says. It helps so much with the build up.
Oh yeah, completely.
and
Like
even,
it totally for me is like it's like game breaking. Like if it's not if the music isn't there,
yeah,
like,
it's
it can completely take you out of the experience. Like
I'm
Just-
pretty sure that in this scenario, I think even Kiki can back us up, because it's not something that they've done just for now. Because Monster Hunter tracks have always been absolutely just bang on, especially when it comes to the big baddies. Like the
Yeah.
I will say, like, in the same topic of like Proof of a Hero, the only kind of track like that to actually get me that hype was the fight with Atal Ka. It's
Fuck
like
yeah.
you're in the
Yes.
yeah
when it
after
goes
the
second phase.
after the second
yeah.
phase of the robot, and then just like everything crumbles, dust and smoke appears, the eyeballs just start fucking glowing, and then it just has like this giant like biblically
Heavenly
accurate
wheel.
And then Proof of a Hero starts. That's my shit right
That's
there.
the shit.
100%.
Or just
and
like
it's been like that for years, and I love that so much.
Or just fighting Fatalist, and you're like 10 minutes down, like you have like 5 minutes to beat him, and Proof of a Hero starts playing. Like that shit, it's like the biggest DPS boost you could ever have. You just focus so much because you're so
good.
stressed. But like in that moment, just the music, and it's crazy that it's just music. It's enough to like change completely the vibe of the fight, right? Like from being like, oh shit, I can't bite this fight, like I can't beat this giant thing. I'm gonna run out of time. I can't do it. Proof of a Hero starts playing, and you're
It's
like,
a full on 180. Like your
I'm gonna
attitude
whoop
instantly
this
That
guy's
changes.
ass.
Draginator. Oh.
Your
I will
attitude
do.
instantly changes. Like you
Okay.
go from being like having fun to having real immersion.
That's also why I'm so fucking salty they used it on Ibushi. Like at that point, is it just me or it didn't feel earned? During the rampage,
Not at all.
Ibushi
Not-
just Ibushi is just a tier 3 Pokemon sub. I'm sorry. Like
but is it just me or like
I know
when
people
Proof of a
like
Hero
him.
starts playing? When Proof of a Hero starts playing during the Ibushi rampage, it didn't feel like a Proof of a Hero. Or like, okay, you're just slapping it on here just because you have to because I used the Dragonator. It doesn't feel like it's a 180.
Yeah, literally. Like it's not me. It's not me feeling like I got the monster cornered and then they just basically turn around and show me that I'm wrong. Like when fucking Geismagorm powers up again, then that and like because towards the end of the fight with Geismagorm, and that's one thing that I love: power creep
Those
escalation within the
demon-
fight.
Yeah.
Because the thing with a hunt is the more parts you break, the easier the hunt gets. The monster like becomes tired, and that's like accurate, right? You're hunting an animal. The more damage you take, the less you will be able to fight. But it's when you get to those end bits and you're sitting on that fantasy threshold, and they just like no. There's more. Until
gets
you fucking
fucking
kill
angry.
him, this shit gets harder. Like it will only get harder, and that is why I appreciate because that without proper music, it doesn't matter. Like the game can look fantastic. It can have the best graphics. If it doesn't have good soundtrack to accompany it, it won't work. It won't work. It will fall off short. Now, with that in mind, I want to move on to possibly one of the last couple of topics here, right? All of us went into this title update, or rather the trailer, thinking of what it could do in terms of are we going to have anything else? Bonus update.
Purple Malzi. Kiki's so fucking done with Rice.
He just wants to go. I for
Let
one.
this fucking game die. I want it dead so bad.
I feel like there's not gonna get the next Monster Hunter game till, I mean, at least the end of 2024, probably 2025.
That is
Yeah.
fine by me.
So I
That's
feel like
good. That's good,
like
honestly.
if they want to stretch Rise and Sunbreak out a little bit longer, like I feel like it's okay. I'm glad there's a bonus update. I'm glad that there's like one last little thing that we're gonna get. I don't know if it's just gonna be like, purple Malzeno and that's it,
They
or if
said
there's
it's
gonna
the
be
last monster. They said it's the last monster.
It's the last
They
monster.
did say- they did say
final bonus
specifically-
monster.
yeah, they said specifically it's gonna be the last monster, but I just don't know if there's gonna be more content in that actual
There'll definitely
update.
be like quests, new quests and shit.
I
but in
hope
terms of new
not. I don't want a
content-
fucking new anomaly.
That's my
Yo,
in terms
exact point. That is my exact point. I please stop the trickle feeding. Like, give us Blurple Malzeno and then just let us
Die.
Oh,
Please,
let
just
it
I
leave
go.
want to
Let me
play
die.
Let
other
us-
games.
Let us fight Blurple Malzeno and let us go.
It's
Like,
not even efficient for Capcom.
please
Just sell
stop
different
trickle
DLC.
feeding
Make a
us
second
event
DLC.
quest.
Exactly.
Make a fucking second DLC. I don't know. Just anything. Just I'll pay you $25 to fuck off. You know that meme, right?
Okay.
Wait, Nathan, isn't the 20th anniversary this year though?
Yep.
Isn't that this year?
I'm gonna
so
say this
I don't.
right now, so it's on record. I'm gonna say this right now. Capcom is not dumb. They know they've been slacking
Yeah.
at certain bits with Sunbreak. 20
for
years
sure.
of Monster Hunter after their achievements, after World was released, write this shit down. The next Monster Hunter
Yeah.
game is going to go hard,
Hard.
but harder
It's gonna
than
have
what
crossplay.
anything we've ever seen. If no,
There
I mean,
is
that's
no
a given.
way
That's a given. There's no
they're
fucking
not
way
gonna
they
have
look at-
crossplay. Like,
Look, as much of a train wreck as Wild Hearts was in terms of performance, there is no way they look at the crossplay and go, "We don't need that.
We should fucking do that.
We don't." They,
Dude,
they absolutely know they need it, and like, there's no.
that will
cap.
literally be fatal to the next Monster Hunter game if they don't have crossplay. Like, it will actually be. I mean, they will fuck up like cataclysmically if they don't.
Yeah, especially because
Crossplay.
like they're hyping it up every time. They always give us this fucking polls asking us, "Would you play more Monster Hunter if you had crossplay?"
They know.
Yes,
They know.
Capcom.
They know.
Capcom,
They
for
know.
fuck's sake! How many
They
times do we
know.
have to teach you this
They
lesson,
ain't
old
dumb.
man?
They ain't dumb. They literally like. I get it. It's teasing. It's foreplay. I get it. I'm
I know.
into that shit. Let's go.
I'll
Let's
say
go.
though, Nason, even if the 20th anniversary is next year, there is no way we're getting a mainline Monster Hunter game next year. No way.
I hope to God not.
No way.
No, please
Absolutely
no.
not.
Let me.
Absolutely
let
not.
me
There is
take a step
absolutely no
back.
way. Like,
Let me take. As much
Even
as you
if-
love something, you
Could
can't
have
be
been
doing it all
in-
the time.
I don't know. Like, they could have been in development. I mean, they're already in the development for the next game, but like, they could have been
sure.
in development for the past like 10 years, and they won't release that game next year. There's no way.
Yep, there's no way. I don't think they will. I genuinely don't think
Yeah.
they will. It's gonna take some time, which is great because listen, I myself, my games to play list is starting to look like a goddamn essay, and it's only growing.
It's so
Same.
It's only
bad.
growing. Like, you don't get it. Armored Core 6 is gonna be released, and
Jesus
I'm gonna
Christ.
Oh baby.
I'm going to be balls deep in that game from day one. Like, it's sad. My girlfriend's not gonna see me for days or months even, and it's just the way it is with these games. And like, one
This is a
thing
side
that they
note.
do. Oh yeah, go on.
Okay, Base says in the chat, will there be a new weapon in the next game? Maybe one Blade Master and one Gunner? I would
Absolutely not.
love to see new weapons. Like, I would
doubt
like
it.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
doubt it.
would
They
slurp
should,
that the
but
fuck
it's not
up.
gonna happen.
Also, OBK
Like-
Word said Street Fighter has crossplay already.
Has cosplay.
That's-
Oh yeah.
Crossplay. So like Capcom is already implementing it. Even like the Capcom ID thing they made us do for the previous title update. That's like pretty clear. They're trying to set up servers for their own games,
I'm
right?
like here's the thing. Lots of people think Capcom is dumb. They are not.
Nah,
They're
they know.
not. They're not dumb. Like a lot of the things that I said this earlier. A lot of the things that we criticize in Rise are not faults. They're design choices.
Yeah,
They
they're designed
made
to-
it so they can go. If people like it, great. If they don't, we move. We adapt. And that is one thing that they do as a developer with pretty much every single game. Like, listen, I've barely been playing Resident Evil 4 Remake. But from the little bit that I've done, because I played Resident Evil 4 on Switch before I went to the remake, because I was like, I need to have a fresh mind on how good the change is going to be. And it's been nuts. It's been crazy. It's been fantastic. And if you guys genuinely think that 20 years of Monster Hunter, followed by the most successful 5 years they probably have experienced ever, is not going to lead to a cataclysmic success, you're wrong. I'm sorry. Like, if later down the line Capcom wants to prove me wrong, well, then that sucks. But I strongly believe we're not ready for what they're going to release. I strongly believe.
Also, another side note, I feel like this is a hot take, but if they take wire bugs away from us,
They will.
I'm gonna be upset.
They will.
I'm
it's
actually
gonna
gonna
be so
cry.
hard. It's gonna be
actually
so
gonna
hard.
cry.
They
No,
will.
no.
Like,
It's gonna be. We're gonna be in rehab for a solid like
but I mean,
year.
again, like if the game is gonna be like that fundamentally different from what they did with Rise, like again, it's like it doesn't matter if they've been in development since World, like there is no way the next Monster Hunter game is coming out next year. I see people say that all the time, that the next Monster Hunter game is coming out next year, and I'm like,
Coincidentally, the people that say that
you
are also the
guys,
people that say
like-
the Switch Pro is gonna come out.
yeah. I'm saying like there's
Fuck
nothing wrong with like wishful thinking and like you can speculate all you want, but
Copium.
there's no way. Like
It's
the
not
game
gonna
has only been
happen.
in development for 5 years, if that's the case. Like there's no way. Like
I
if
will
it's gonna be that
say-
fundamentally different, if like Rise was like they tested a bunch of different things to see like how that was gonna do. Like they tried a bunch of things. Like I feel like Rise was kind of like a guinea pig in a lot of ways. Like if they're gonna go in a completely different direction from Rise with the next game, like there is
Rise
no
was an
way.
adrenaline injection saying how fast can we go. Now I'm I'm gonna
Right.
say it is possible to adapt because although we have wire bugs, like I strongly love the Palamutes. I think they are perfect for the mobility and rise. However,
Don't
when
take
you
away my
have to,
Palamute.
when you have to, they won't be there, I'm afraid. But or they will be there, but they won't be mountable. So it's gonna be one or the other. Now, I genuinely do believe that they're not gonna have that kind of system there. But one thing that they have learned is that a fun movement system in a game is critical for longevity because you need the game to be fun in every single aspect. Even moving needs to be engaging.
Because
in one
here's
way or
the thing,
other.
like that's part of my like huge issue with World is like again, my first Monster Hunter game ever was Rise. So going from Rise to World is like it doesn't necessarily feel like regressing because there's so many things that are just different in World, the way that you experience and play through the game. But like when it comes to going on a quest and you just want to find the fucking monster and
Yeah,
like you
but
have
at the same
to
time, at the
physically
same
walk your ass around the fucking map. Like it feels draining. Like
but at the same
I
time, I
just want to ride my
appreciate it. Like
Palamute.
I like the way that like Word is special because it does feel like you're tracking down the monster.
Hey, that's
Even
the
if you-
one thing though, is it can be immersive if you're like into it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
'cause
I
it
get
does
it.
feel like that.
And also,
But
I
I
like
just
the
feel like
slower movement, like as well, because like when like if you play Charge Blade and you play Charge Blade in Rise, and you play Charge Blade in Word,
No,
or
hold
any
on.
weapon,
Chat.
like
Chat is straight
Hmm?
up spitting. Remove the fucking spirit birds. Get them
oh my
out
god,
of here.
please.
Fuck yeah,
Get
fuck
them
yeah.
out.
Dude,
Get them
I will
out.
crush these fucking birds.
Oh,
Get
if
them
my
out.
bare
They
hands.
were cute at first,
Oh,
but oh my
if
god.
they keep spirit birds, I might boycott it. I might
might-
actually fucking boycott
I'm
it. Because
against
like
I'm against cheating, but like the fucking guy that made the mod that spawns like
the
a
big
rainbow
spirit
spirit
bird.
bug.
Oh my god.
I've said this
Holy
I
fucking
have said
shit!
this
You're a
so many
saint.
times.
You're a
When
saint.
you get to a certain point in this game, when you get to a certain point in Rise Sunbreak, like in base game Rise, in my opinion, when you get to a certain like when you let's just say you beat the end game in Rise, like automatically it should unlock when you load into a quest anytime, an expedition, a quest, an event quest, whatever it is, you get the fucking rainbow spirit bird.
Yes.
Like
yes,
I should
yes,
not
yes,
have
yes, yes,
to
yes, yes.
grind to get all my
Absolutely.
fucking spirit birds every single time I join a
Out of
fucking
all
quest. It's
the languages in the
insane.
world, this
It's
woman chose
violently
facts.
insane.
Okay,
Amen.
but
It could be the
listen.
simplest thing because okay, we're stuck with the spirit bird mechanic, but it could be the simplest fucking thing. They could just add the rainbow spirit bird like when you beat base game. Like
It's so
give it to
annoying.
us.
It's so fucking annoying. It goes back to the whole thing on like anomalies because either you have two choices. Either you grab the spirit birds and you can take 2 hits, or you don't and you take 1 and you die, or you die from chip damage. But
Yeah.
holy shit! Another fucking fact: bring back actual food. I'm tired of dongo.
Oh my god, the
I mean,
dongos are so lame.
The portable team always the portable team always does like special food.
Yeah,
You know,
they
it's
did
Kiki one
cheese. They
to say
did
something.
cheese before. I like that. I get it. It's like gimmicky, but oh my god, I need the platters back. Like
You know what's
seeing
gonna
Monster
happen-
Hunter
oh,
food
go
genuinely made me want to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see someone in the chat. Even from the beginning, I never really used the birds. What do you play? What do you play as? Because like I'm a dual blade main, and there is like actually physically no way. Like there's physically, mentally, emotionally no
Rose plays
fucking way.
Switch Axe, if I remember correctly.
There's
If I remember
mentally, physically, emotionally no fucking way.
Watch it be a,
You can
watch it
go
be a
through a
ranged
hunt
weapon. Watch it be a
without-
ranged weapon.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it has to be.
Rose
You have to
doesn't
be
play-
gunner or something.
No,
'Cause,
she,
like-
I think she plays Switch Axe. Go ahead, Kiki. Sorry, we're interrupting you for the past 2 minutes.
I know. Sorry.
This is fair. It happens. You want to know what's gonna happen? They're gonna keep birds. They're gonna remove palamutes. They're gonna remove all the movement options. They're gonna say,
that.
"Have fun,"
Have fun.
and then
Fuck you.
leave. That's literally what they're gonna do.
Oh
I
Well,
my
I think they
guarantee
care
you.
about us. I think they care about us enough to not take away those
I
movement
can't.
mechanics. Like I feel
Yeah.
like they're even if they take away wire bugs, like I feel like there will be some movement mechanics that they're going to give
There will
us
be
that's going to be
something.
an
There will be
improvement.
something.
Yeah,
There
Rose
will
plays
definitely be
Switch Axe.
something.
If
Switch
they
Axe and
implement
Hammer.
the same like buff effect as the spirit birds, like I will be upset. I will be genuinely very upset with that because like me, it's like part of what is so grinding about going on quests is having to get all my fucking spirit birds. And like, here's the thing: is not everyone gets the fucking spirit birds. And so I'm sitting here like a dumbass riding around the map on my fucking palico trying to get all my goddamn spirit birds while they're halfway through the fucking hunt already. Like,
Yeah.
it's like obnoxious as fuck. Like
And then
It's
you go
not a
online, you got
problem.
the guy that thinks that he's an MLG, goes into the hunt, gets one hit 3 times,
One
and there
hit.
you go.
Yeah, the
Skills.
problem is
okay,
like
I said in your chat the other day, like straight up, like when I first started playing Rise, I was always playing with randoms because like I don't have friends, so like I was
Oh,
just playing
okay,
with randoms
okay,
online.
we're nothing then. Okay, cool. No, it's fine.
When it came out,
wow.
when Rise came
Wow.
out, this was like 2 years ago. But
Not me
um,
just trying to start drama at every fucking statement you pull me.
for real,
Hell
like I
yeah.
had like a wide range build because it was like, dude, every time I would go on a hunt, like I didn't want to play by myself, so like I kept playing with randoms, and it's like every fucking time I went on a hunt, they would rush the monster, and all fucking 3 of them would cart, and we would fail the
Cart,
quest. Like
yeah.
I mean, every fucking time. So like I just
Yeah.
went for like a healer build,
That
like
shit,
because
that shit kills. That
became-
shit kills.
it became so fucking frustrating to play with randoms. Like they don't heal themselves, they rush the monster. It's like, are y'all fucking? Like I'm a noob, and it feels like y'all are just dumb
I'm
as
carrying
fuck.
you,
Like,
and I'm the
for
noob.
real.
Nah,
Like it was just
it's kind of cringe. Like
The thing,
yeah, it
the
is
thing
cringe.
is like it's like spirit bird. The issue with spirit birds is that they shouldn't be an element that you have to consider when you're balancing the game. I think it's like you should balance the monster for like standard health. Like no spirit birds, I go straight to the monster. That should be the point because spirit birds are supposed to be a way to make the game easier, a way to like replace the preparation phase that you usually have in a Monster Hunter game, right?
mhm.
So if you make that preparation phase mandatory, just give me the fucking classic preparation part. I don't want to go run
Literally.
around and get
that's the
spirit bird.
thing. And then we go back to the same fucking principle: lack of downtime. You are always running around, and I get it. It's meant to be that way because it's portable. You're meant to be active in you know the actual hunt aspect of things, but like it needs to slow down for me. Purely because any faster and we're just playing Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah.
straight up, we're just playing Devil May Cry, and then
It's
like
linger.
I'm just very concerned of Monster Hunter losing its hunting identity, which I don't think is gonna happen because now with games like Wild Hearts opening the doors to show Capcom like you better watch your ass. I mean they were very imposing until we realized the game was broken in a million
It
different
runs
pieces.
like ass.
But then
You play
yeah,
1
I feel like
second
but
Wild
you
Hearts-
take the fundamentals of Wild Hearts and
Setting
I
up
ain't gonna
camp and
lie,
all that shit.
shedding
That's so
like,
cool.
dude, your camps, the flexibility you have with the world, combat
That's so
was
cool.
great. The Karakuri to me were a bit annoying, too gimmicky. Just in my opinion, no shade, it's just not for me. And then you take shit like just the way that the different things that you can do with the camps, with like the zip lines, the little vehicle you can go around, the fucking crossplay, and all of these things that can be piled up for quality of life that don't necessarily need to be Monster Hunter specific. These are like there's things that Wild Heart did right that that Sunbreak didn't, which is fine. Sunbreak came out before, you know, and it's a portable series. Like there's
Yeah, it's a Switch
limitations.
game. It's a fucking Switch game, guys.
Not you guys
Holy
talking about
shit.
bringing the clutch claw back in the chat right
No,
now. I can't.
no,
I literally
no,
can't.
no.
Guys, like, no, chill. Why do people hate the clutch claw
Because
so
Clutch
much?
Claw
Okay, no,
turned
listen.
into the same
No, no.
thing as riding a monster and slamming against the wall. You were losing out if you fuck it up. And
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a fight
okay.
like a Latrion, where the wall is the
fuck
size
that,
of an
okay, fuck that.
amiibo,
Fuck
and you
that.
fucking miss it by the slightest inch, it pissed me off
No,
because
no,
that's
you hit it, but it doesn't fucking register the hit because it doesn't have an hitbox on it.
even better.
It
Even
doesn't have
better.
a fuck. Fuck that.
It
specific.
is
I think-
depressing when that shit happens. When you miss the wall bang, or like, because look at a speedrun. What do they do? What do they do in the beginning?
Clutch claw.
Clutch claw, right in the beginning. Hit, slaps the monster 3 times in a row. There you go. And I'm just like, this is the thing that I don't like. I don't like a gimmick to become so... I understand gimmicks need to be fundamental, but it shouldn't be absolutely mandatory. With the clutch claw, I like what they did in the sense of, oh, you know, with the sword and shield, you have this move that you can do where you jump, like you roll, and then you do this jump, you attach to the monster. That is a good part of it. But the whole grab the fucking slinger ammo, shove it up your ass, attach to the monster's face like a parasite, and then throw him against the wall.
A grappling hook
because if you're
would be
not doing
just
that,
cooler.
you're trolling straight up.
A grappling hook would be just straight up cooler. Just like an actual like thing you can hook on even on surfaces and stuff like that. That'd be very fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
they have to find a midway point between the wire bug and the clutch claw, in the sense that you get the mobility, but you don't get to just do everything with the wire bug, and you can. They need to make it more environment based, right?
Yeah.
They need to focus more on that side of the game, in my opinion. But do not talk about bringing the clutch claw back. As someone who's
not in this state. Not in this state.
I think
not
they,
like this. Not like this.
In fairness to the chat, they want an improvement on the clutch claw.
Yeah.
Be brought back. But I feel like that. I feel like that's just like we were just regressing at that point instead of innovating, which is I feel like what they need to do is innovate.
Mm-hmm. I like the slingers. The slingers were cool. They were pretty adaptable, and the fact that even with the armors they were changeable. But the thing is, with the clutch claw, some moves were just nuts. And it's like, look, in a fight like Elatrion, where it was a DPS check, you need to provide enough elemental damage. And the only clutch claw technique that I liked was Elatrion would slam down 3 times. After the 3rd time, he takes a breather. Clutch onto his face. He's midair. You can throw him on the ground regardless. You don't have to throw him into a wall. He crashes. So it's easier. You get that window of opportunity. You can go back and slam on the monster. The problem is when he's on the ground, hitting him against a wall is like finding a needle in a haystack. It's so fucking hit or miss. And it is not hard because because here's the thing, when you slap the monster across the face and it turns around, it's a set distance. You don't control that. So you have to pray that the monster is lined up.
4 directional moves, essentially.
Yeah.
Literally.
It also just feels broken.
But I think I can to stand on side of Rise for once. Like a great thing that Rise does that I noticed is that Rise is way less meta in the way that you would expect it. Like I remember back in Ward, everyone had the same build essentially. Right?
Fatalis armor. There you go. You're done.
Fatalis armor, or in general, they had critical eye, attack boost, and that's it. Even back to GU, once you get Atolka armor, a lot of people would just
all that everyone used. Yep.
All that everyone used.
Atolka,
well, here
and armor and weapons, not just
here in Sunbreak. All sets look very viable because they're very gimmicky. You have very weird skills that synergize with each other, and that's something that Capcom has never done as well as they've done in Rise. They're genuinely fun skills to play with.
Look, I'm gonna let Kiki talk.
You're a Gunlance main. It doesn't fucking count.
She might actually say exactly. I'm a Gunlance main, yeah, so I have fuck all going on. But, long story short, the point of Rise was to take the combat in World, which, let's be honest, it wasn't the best. The combat itself was lacking in variety. There was one best way to play a weapon, and that's it. And they took that and they turned it completely around. Because in something like GU, gameplay is godlike, where you have the different styles, you have the different hunter arts, and I understand some of those hunter arts were nuts. The fucking, what was it called? Is it
the
Round
Valor
Slash?
style?
Not even Valor, just Round Slash for Sword and Shield. It was just
busted. Yeah.
Was
the
just
Round
Slash.
Slash.
Get out of jail free card. Yep.
Literally, and you had it up so often, it did so much damage. It literally, it looked amazing, and I love using it, but it's that thing where when I use it, I know it's broken.
And that's why I use it.
Yeah, that's why I use it. But they need to find a midpoint through that, because they have the switch skills, and then they had, what was the other? You have the switch skills, and then you have the other one, which is, I forgot the name.
Hunter styles.
No. So it's no. You have 2 of them in Rise, which is the switch skill, Silkbind skill. There you go.
Yeah.
So the Silkbind moves. Those were that's what I like to see, because I the fact that I get to play the same weapon in 2 different ways is pretty important for me.
And the fact that you can change styles mid hunt, it's so fucking badass. Just the fact that you can prepare 2 builds and essentially 2 different builds. And you can switch depending on the state of the monster. It's something that it's just so cool on a gameplay point of view, because it forces you to adapt, and it's not necessarily like a meta way to play it. If you want to play it in a meta way, you can. But if you just want to have fun with the weapon and experiment a lot, it allows you to do it, which I think it's one of the most important things to make like a Monster Hunter have a lot of
Totally agree.
longevity.
Facts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I completely agree, because like you end up getting like this variety, and like you can kind of figure out different ways and different builds, and it makes it like a lot more fun. Just being like, okay, well this is my this is my great sword. These are the moves I can use with it, you know.
It's much less meta in the sense that you can absolutely play aerial greatsword, or you can play counter like with lance. You can play counter lance. You can play full on tank. You can play almost like so many different ways. And even with sword and shield, you can focus on the shield, which is more meta. Obviously, it does more damage, but you can also focus on sword builds, and you can actually make it work. That is the one thing that in World and Iceborne, I was just kind of like That's not even a question, mate. Like, play the weapon as it should, or you will lose. Like, especially when it came to the later hunts like Fatalis and Elatrion. Because there was no option. It's either you win or you lose, and you're the one that has to choose, you know?
Yeah. I think being able to customize your switch scrolls too is nice, instead of it being like a fixed loadout or something. Like, I feel like that's also like a really important
Absolutely.
aspect of it, because you know exactly what your build is, you know? Like,
with that in mind, I got like a closing sort of question for everyone. Because now we kind of have confirmation that Sunbreak has ended, or is going to end very, very soon.
Please.
And I think everyone is in agreement in the sense that it's fine. Like, the game came out 2 years ago. I think it's time everyone moves into something nicer, or not nicer. Sorry, like different. To calm down,
yeah.
calm back to the next Monster Hunter game. Absolutely, like, prepared and excited. How do you guys feel? Because I, for one, am quite attached to Rise and Sunbreak, since it is
I'm
what I
so
started this.
fucking scared. I'm genuinely so fucking, because like, one thing that I've always said is that, like, no matter what, like I make remixes, so it's very weird because it requires a lot of time to make like a cover or stuff like that, and like it's very easy for it to fall out of trend before you finish it. And like, but the thing I knew was, like, no matter what, I had the fucking Monster Hunter community, because like they're carrying my ass, right? Like, no matter what, if I post a remix, I know that my community is gonna be up for it. And I know that more or less is gonna be the same, but it's not gonna be the same thing as when like a Monster Hunter game it's live, right? So the idea that now, like, I'll be honest, like the fact that now for content moving forward, it's gotta be more like relying, like branching out and stuff like that. I think it's a positive thing, because it forces us content creator to try new things or try new games, get into new fandoms and stuff like that, which is, it's very cool, because like even our audience is gonna change with time. It's gonna be like, since no one is gonna be talking about Monster Hunter, maybe they start playing out other action RPGs.
It's healthy.
Maybe
it's very healthy.
It's very healthy.
Taking a break from it, and then there's also the thing of there's always old Monster Hunter games you can go back to.
Yeah, I got
dude,
so many
if you guys have not played GU and you want Monster Hunter content between Rines and the next one, GU is gonna keep you busy for more than that.
Dude, we have fucking Frontier now. Like, we're settled for at least Frontier. 3 years. Like 3 years of hiatus.
If there's one thing that people cannot complain, is that there isn't enough Monster Hunter content out there. There's
way too much.
There is
play fucking Stories 1 and 2 or something. I don't know if you're that desperate.
GU, watch Legends of the Guilds, go back to, like, do whatever.
Oh god,
the hell.
don't do that. Maybe
don't do that. Maybe not that, or maybe, I don't know. Just watch the Pokemon story. The fucking Monster Hunter stories anime.
Too.
No, the anime.
The anime.
Oh,
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
We have that. No one ever talks about that one, but we have a
watch the Monster Hunter
anime.
movie. Don't fucking do it.
Don't do that.
If there's one thing you don't do,
don't. It's bad.
Have you ever watched it, Kiki?
Nope.
You're gonna regret it. You're gonna walk out of it. Just.
That's such a good watch party idea, though.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, maybe we should watch it.
Okay, one day I'll organize a movie night with the order where we can all
one day will be
the
fucking
Monster Hunter
funny,
so that we can all leave absolutely pissed off at what we just saw.
Yeah.
Promoting anger.
That's all I wanted.
I think that's generally funny.
But yeah, Barry, Kiki, Sunbreak's ending. How you guys feeling?
I mean, for me,
Uh,
it's just
go ahead.
like this was my, like I said, Rise was my first Monster Hunter game.
Was your first? How was it?
Yeah, it's, you know, for me, it will always have like a very, very special place in my heart because it's what I was introduced, that's how I was introduced to Monster Hunter and the whole community and whole universe and everything. I used to watch my brother play World a little bit, but I was just, you know, I never
Didn't
actually
see the
played World
lights.
before that. No, I wasn't particularly interested watching him play World, and he bought it for me for the Switch, and I started playing it on release day, and like I just absolutely fell in love with it. Like it's so cute, it's so precious, and it will always be one of my favorite games of all time, Rise and Sunbreak, like undoubtedly. But I think when it comes to having played World and like comparing it to other Monster Hunter games and talking with people in the community who have played other Monster Hunter games, like for example GU, I hear a lot of people talking about GU. It kind of makes me want to explore
You
more
should.
of
You
the
should.
older Monster Hunter games because I feel like there's just so much that you miss out,
GU
and like so
slaps.
much that yeah, it's so much that you find that you're not appreciating, like that came from these like past Monster Hunter games. Like, for example, in World, like there's so many quality of life things that we don't have in Rise. Like I get it, because like Rise is not technically a mainline game or whatever, and that they were kind of like trying a lot of different new things with Rise. But I feel like ultimately, like it's good that Sunbreak is ending. I'm ready for it to end because I'm ready for like the next Monster Hunter game, and like I want to continue experiencing Monster Hunter with the community and experiencing it like in real time with the community. It would be great. I can't wait for that because again, when Rise came out, like I wasn't streaming and I was just playing it like by myself with randoms and like with my brother. So I ended up missing a lot of the community's reaction to Rise because I just wasn't necessarily a part of it.
Oh, girl,
And
if you haven't been there when a Monster Hunter game drops, it is.
that's what I'm saying.
it
That's what I'm
is
saying. Like I'm
nuts.
so
It
I'm
is
so ready.
nuts.
It's a fucking party,
It's
like
ready
unironically.
to-
literally like the internet just unites.
It crashes. It
totally.
crashes Twitter.
It
like-
does. God,
I'm
it-
super excited to experience that with everybody, and like I said, I just Rise will always have a special place in my heart, but I'm literally like ready for it to end. Like
I think to wrap that sentiment up, Kiki.
Kiki.
Oh boy. Okay, so I do sound negative about like some of the stuff that's been like introduced so far, just like in this title update and then some like other stuff. I want to say I fucking loved Rise and I loved Sunbreak even more. Just like I remember when the game came out, when Sunbreak came out, just like that was a super exciting time in my life because just like I had people to play with, you know, I had a community, as some other people said, to experience it with me, and you know, getting up to Guy's Magorm, that shit was such a magical experience. So
Yeah.
yeah, I do love Rise and Sunbreak to death. I will say though, just like this end game stuff and the title updates and the trickling down, all it is for right now is just grind. And especially with like all the afflicted monsters, you know, you got your special investigations where all you do again, it's just grind. And with like, you know, probably with this variant Malzeno, it's probably going to be like MR200 where you unlock it, and all you gotta do is just grind.
Dragging
Yeah.
myself on the floor. I can't take it.
I mean,
I
I feel like someone said it in the chat earlier that they seem to be struggling with the end game in both Rise and in Sunbreak, and I feel like that's just kind of objectively true. I feel like
Yeah,
because they totally gave up
are,
on the
they are.
Rampage thing in
They
base
are.
game Rise, and there just ended up being like really no
they
end
are
game in
struggling
Rise.
with it, but the reason.
And I get that.
Sorry, go on.
I get that part of why the end game in Rise was because they always planned to have Sunbreak as the DLC expansion, right?
Listen,
Like,
The fuck. I keep thinking that it's done because it pauses and then it's sorry, Barry. Go on.
I'm listening. I'm listening. Go on.
I was gonna say, if you want me to give you the most simplistic and factual piece of advice, look at Capcom. Let him cook. Let him fucking cook.
Let him cook.
Don't worry, because I know this shit sucks, but they don't make the same mistake twice. Next Monster Hunter game is gonna fucking bang. And for those of you who haven't experienced what it is like to be in the Monster Hunter community, be it on this channel, be it somewhere else, you will absolutely go nuts when the next Monster Hunter title gets announced. Okay? It is a party like no other. And you genuinely see what is one of the most beautiful things. Everyone here is into games, right? It will bring a community together in a sense that you have not seen.
Just like when they announced fucking Elden Rings, him fucking Euphoria.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember,
it's gonna be a non-stop party, and I'm really excited. I think, real quick, just to like give my own perspective.
yeah, you gotta get
Rise of Sunbreak has been an incredible experience to me, and I will make more videos towards the end of it. Like, I will wait until everything is out, all the main content. I will hunt all the monsters, and I have 2 videos. One of it is gonna be like along the lines of what my favorite video is, which is the handler, which is going to be a bit more of an fuck off. It's going to be a bit more on the emotional side of things, exploring my connection to Rise and Sunbreak and the channel and to you guys. So I'm very excited for it to it sounds bad. I'm very excited for it to end. I'm ready to move on to something else. Be able to explore it with you guys, like explore new game. Like I said, my fucking channel. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just saw in the chat Ridgegod said Monster Hunter, but with Elden Ring mechanics, and like, hear me out. Like the way the switch skills could be so fundamentally more useful if we had the same like character movement mechanics that we had in Elden Ring with like directional.
Yeah, but Elden Ring has like 3 attacks.
No. But hear me out. Like being able to change the direction after you use a switch skill, like in that time where you're like winding up. So like say I'm a dual blade main, for example, like, and you're using the spiral slash.
The pivoting movement, right?
Holy fuck! Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That'd be cool.
You guys have never, y'all have never tried. Y'all have never started a bullet barrage only to see the monster leave. That shows. I am not taking that in front of.
No, there was back in the beginning of War, there was like this exploit for bows that when you use like the charged up shot, you could change the aim at the last second, and you could do essentially like a 180 and shoot at the back of the bow.
Yeah,
that was so fucking cool. I want something like that.
It's gonna be interesting. Even
in Wild Hearts, for example, like we have like a little taste of what that could be like in a Monster Hunter game.
Oh yeah, but Wild Hearts is super,
performance issues aside, I feel like with Wild Hearts, like they're kind of doing like certain things right. In my opinion, that I would like to see in a mainline Monster Hunter game, with the way that you actually control the character, the way that you're actually using your button mechanics to like interact with the world and with the monster. Like for me, that's kind of the same direction that I would like to see Capcom take with the next Monster Hunter game.
I think we're gonna see a lot of good changes. If there's one thing that I can tell you from someone who plays Lance as a secondary weapon, what's good about Lance is that the weapon flows. There's always something different for you to do. It doesn't feel gimmicky. And that is what all the other weapons are going to be experiencing very soon. If they aren't already, because I don't play all the weapons, so I wouldn't know. But it is going to change. It's going to be better. Next Monster Hunter game is going to slap. Rise and Sunbreak have been a fantastic experience. If you haven't played them, by all means, play them. They're great. Like, just don't play, maybe don't do the fucking endgame stuff. Like, I'm a punk ass bitch. I go for it because I'm willing to get my ass just whooped in order to get that 1 W. But you don't have to enjoy the game like me. There's no wrong way to enjoy the game unless you're, like, ruining the game for others, but that's a completely separate topic. What I do want to say is that this has been really, really exciting. Title Update 5 is going to be nice. Amatsu is going to be nuts.
For sure.
I'm going to try to see what I can do in order to get everyone to experience Amatsu for the first time with me. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see. But with that in mind, I want to say thank you to all 3 of you for being, my first guest.
Thank you for having us
on this project. I'm hoping that you guys are going to be willing to do something like this again. It's been very fun.
100%, yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's been also really cool to have this with, like, chat live. Obviously, we can't promise that this is going to be the case every time. You know,
Of course, of
it's,
course.
it's sometimes it will be a recording, sometimes it will be live and then a recording. We'll see. But either way,
Sometimes I won't
think-
even be here.
sometimes, well, you know, I don't think there's always going to be the thing of, all like I don't think it's gonna always be the same cast. I mean, it's gonna be me here because it's my fucking channel. If I'm not here, I can't just get someone else to do the job for me.
Yeah.
I'll take over.
Oh no! Oh
Just
god!
assault.
Yeah, you say that, but when you start getting asked where the husbando video is every single hour of the day, you'll change your mind real quick.
Hey, listen, I still get comments about those fucking eggs. How do you think I feel?
Not true, true. You have it just as bad. But yeah, do you guys have any closing statements before we finish today?
No.
No.
No, okay,
Goodbye.
fantastic. Good.
No, no.
It's a good indicator that I've done a good job. All of their links are going to be present below. And the
Subscribe to Arc right now.
If you have
Right
been
now.
watching this entire stream and you actually aren't subscribed to Arc, like what
What the fuck
are you
is
doing?
wrong with you?
That's a bit
Like
weird. I'm not gonna
literally
lie.
press the fucking subscribe button, you absolute fucking degenerate. Like
Holy.
Mommy,
Damn.
she's so hot when she talks like this. Like, goddamn.
Huh?
probably for most people, the update will probably be available tonight around midnight for
Probably.
most people.
I won't be there for tonight. I'll probably be there like, I don't know. I'm quite busy going into the
He's
week.
busy with
Tomorrow
me.
night, I will absolutely be playing Monster Hunter with you guys. So
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Look out for
Well,
that.
there you go. You guys already got somewhere to be tomorrow night. By all means, hit up the subscriptions. Is in all link below. Thank you very much for all of you guys turning up.
yeah.
And thank you very much for everyone who decided to watch this live. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you guys soon. Peace.
Bye-bye.
I'm not actually ending the stream, by the way. That's just end the recording.
Okay.